kind of confusing as what's gone wrong in a lot of their other matches. And we get into the Ban and Protect. Shiva, Overclock, High Caliber, Rapid. Those are going to go. Spec stuns and flashes to go as well.
Wondering if we see a stock ban from Rise Nation.
They do that time and time again.
They've gotten very popular with as of late because, you know, Octane, not a stock user on his AR. We've seen the rise in the popularity of stocks and machine guns. So Octane does better when other ARs don't have a stock because he's playing in his natural habitat and they aren't. Then you add in stock subs banned out, only helps Octane even more. There's a danger close ban from Killa. That's a Killa thing to do.
You're going to see stuns go as well. I expect to see some action with stock. You're going to see Classic actually get rid of flashes. They're going to leave stock in.
Okay.
I would have liked to see them go with something on stock. It would have really thrown the guys off on DT.
Yeah. Most certainly a center is this last ban. Rapid Fire is out already. Maybe HC, maybe Camo. Overclock is gone already as well. Kinetic Armor. So they did go with a specialist.
So they're going to get rid of Kinetic Armor, obviously one of the more powerful specialist abilities in Hardpoint. You're able to just, you know, pop it, break into the hills with an easy two-piece. We'll get into the specialist draft. You have Chino going to go with a weapon. Diabolic going to go with his trusted Heat Wave. You have Octane Ghost Scythe as well. Now, would not be surprised to see a Purifier on Classic when we get down to him. You're going to see Slacked with active Camo. What will Killa run? Potentially could go weapon, could go Camo.
Camo, yeah, yep. Camo something that Killa's really embraced on this DT lineup. Doesn't surprise me at all to see him pick that up. Sender, who's made the transition from Annihilator over to Tempest more and more as of late. And then Classic will go with the Tempest himself.
Oh, okay.
It's a Tempest matchup to finish out the night here on the COD World League North American Pro Division stream. Matt, so far, we've seen probably the only upset of the night for us was Luminosity taking down Envy, which, from how Luminosity's been playing more and more as of late and how Envy's been struggling, it's looking like less and less of an upset every day that goes by, right?
Yeah, Envy just has not looked good the last few weeks, obviously with Havoc and now with Aches. Just still trying to figure some things out. I think they'll kind of right the ship, but Luminosity, definitely a big story. They go 2-0 last week, have a potential to go 2-0 this week, really trying to cement their spot in the Stage 1 playoffs.
Absolutely. Now, as we begin to load on in, want to make sure everyone knows, just got announced a few hours ago, tickets are officially available for Stage 1 Finals. We'll all be there. The casters, your favorite players will be there as well. Well, every team in the COD World League will be there, whether it's for good reasons or bad, whether it's for playing for that $250,000 or playing to get out to
get into Stage 2.
To stay into Stage 2, which is going to be absolutely nuts.
Those matches are going to be just as intense,
if not more, in some occasions.
If not more, okay, I guess.
I just think of Liquid when I say if not more because of like how their whole storyline has gone. It's something like a Disney movie.
How do you say that?
You know, they don't make it in. They battle, they work. It's like, or maybe more like a Rocky movie, where they're training, they're getting better, They get some hiccups in the road to the 25Ks, then they move into Stage 1 relegation, and they wind up winning, getting in. Champagne bottles are popped. Everyone's excited. And the credits roll.
Well, they don't get it in, and they can just...
and then everyone, and it's like a horror movie.
I guess.
Box office sales collapse.
No, I think when I was speaking with Maven over the weekend, we talked a little bit about it when we did the 25K. We both think Liquid gets in. I think Cloud9 Eclipse gets in as well. So
definitely an option.
I think we see 2 teams.
All right. Wouldn't be surprised there, as you hope to see some new blood potentially in Stage 2. That remains to be seen. That's why you got to be there to see it in person. To kick off the final series of the night, it's going to be Fringe Hardpoint yet again. Matt, I kind of have an idea of where you're going to go with this one. You said it earlier in the night. Who wins this series? What's the map count?
I think it's Rise. I'm going to say, I'm going to say Rise gets 3 maps. And I don't know how many DT gets.
So Rise would need 3 maps to win the series. So
I'm going to say Rise is 100% going to get 3 maps. I don't know how many maps DT is going to get.
All right. Well, even if it goes to Game 5 from what we've seen in the past from DT, you got to be feeling confident if you're Rise.
And DT is, it's like almost like you said where Complexio played, like, I don't want to say like down to their opponent. I feel like DT plays up to their opponent. Like DT has had really good performances against the top team. So not be shocked if DT comes out and plays Rise tough.
Most certainly has already. Killa's found his way through Little Room. No one predicting him to be there at all. Should be 1 kill now. Getting actually flanked behind is Octane. Playing outside this little room with the L car. Some pressure in middle map. Early lead out for Dream Team, but obviously 4-0 as little as it possibly gets, as somehow shoots Chino in the calves there to get that kill. Still playing his power position. He's 3-1 off the start. Unfortunate timing there as someone's made it in towards bottom barn area. Will he get this engagement win? No! Diabolic gets it better from there.
Some nice movement by Diabolic.
It's that
coming
stock
through the
machine
window.
gun. Stock submachine gun, man.
Now you're going to see DT take a small lead at the beginning here. Not sure they'll be able to hold on. As you see, it's going to be the kill feed dominated by Rise Nation.
Yep.
They should be rotating over towards this second hardpoint. They
have
all set up towards it. And obviously, DT going to have to rotate a little bit earlier if they're going to get control of these hills, and they need it. DT is not a team I think is going to be able to kind of just muscle their way into these hardpoints against a team like Rise.
Rise beginning to gain a foothold on this match, up by about 15 seconds. You can see the pressure now coming in. It's actually a nice push out of Dream Team, but Slack gets 3 kills. Kind of forgot he was there with the AR, and they weren't able to get the shots in. Now on a 4 streak, now gonna die after a team kill from Looney. But either way, Octane finds the final kill, and Rise hold off another Dream Team push. I'll be honest, like Dream Team's pushes weren't bad there. They were actually pretty well coordinated. They all popped at the same time. But Rise just won those final trades to get a little bit more efficient on that one to hold off that DT coordinated push. Off the transition though, early control of this Granny's area goes over to the likes of Dream Team. Sender with an XR2, gonna be watching this back 10. And that heat wave is gonna completely destroy it.
And we have seen more players use the XR2. Dito actually is using it a lot when I watched him during the 25K, even with the M8 in. So a lot of people like the XR2 for its auto burst feature.
Yep.
Players go over towards it. Obviously, when you use the M8, it's going to be a burst weapon. You're going to have to like tap to get every burst out. The XR2, you can just hold down whichever button you use to shoot. Just keeps firing out bursts.
That doesn't get easier than that. Just holding the trigger down versus having to actually pace your shots. 68-21. What was a little bit of a quiet start from Rise Nation has really begun to blow up in this game. Everybody positive. Actually, as I say that, Octane drops to even. Looney explodes his HC there, expecting a pressure from back window, but what you gotta love about Rise Nation is their ability to just win engagements, especially on those
Look at how
rotations.
patient Rise is. Like, you don't see any of their arrows moving with like 15 seconds left on the hardpoint.
Yeah.
They're just
And
all
this
watching
is-
their
and
angles,
DT
just doing a really nice job.
I mean, do you agree with DT still getting this aggressive past rails with just 1 second remaining?
No.
I don't think
They're
so
gonna do it.
either. They should be able to push this one out. Someone's on the flank right now. That's actually going to be Diabolic, who can make a big play here with Heat Wave.
Now, Diabolic always makes a big play with Heat Wave. You're going to see he's going to come behind one. Misses a lot of shots there on Classic. Now he's able to pick up an M8, so see if he can cause any chaos here. A nice Heat Wave
That was a beautiful
on Slacked. And Diabolic, he's had some huge plays with Heat Wave throughout all of Stage 1. And it's going to be DT. Set up the control tracks. They are down by a lot, though, Jack.
Yeah, that was actually kind of weird. I didn't realize how big of a lead Rise Nation had. I thought that like 2-piece there from Diabolic was going to be like, and DT back within 20. Instead, they still find themselves down by over a minute. Slack tries his best to jump into the hard point. This is the best chance Rise have had to break so far as they have someone pinching, but a 2-piece coming in from Sender, and Diabolic gets the job done. Rise are held yet again. So a pretty good rails hard point for Dream Team as we rotate back towards middle map. Expect Rise to put up a great fight in this hardpoint. DT, it's one of their better game modes, but you're facing Rise Nation, who are one of the, I mean, people probably regard them as a top 2, top 3 team in the hardpoint game mode.
I would say so. I think Rise is a very talented team in hardpoint. And it's important for Rise to win this because they are not the best in Search and Destroy. And I feel like DT is a team that can definitely take the S&D off of Rise. DT, obviously, you know what Killa can do in Search and Destroy, Sender and Chino as well. So this is definitely a map that Rise needs to win. Threat of starting down 0-2, not good. And you're going to see the kill feed being dominated by Rise Nation at this moment in time. You have Classic on a 4 streak, you had Octane on a streak, Slacked on a 3 streak, and Looney on a 2 streak. And it is just all going Rise Nation's way at this moment in time. And you're going to see 15 seconds left, still on this hill.
I've been watching Classic in the hill for the last 40 seconds with this AR and haven't had to switch off once.
Somehow they haven't gotten him out of there, and he's going to go over towards the next hardpoint. He's going to be able to pick up 1 before it pops up. He should get credit for the hill, and he's going to get the points, and he's going to be 25 off of his Cerberus.
This is what you gotta love about
He's
Classic.
going to pick up 1, and just the map positioning and the movement, Classic, very talented player.
The second he saw a foot of a player inside tin, did not even try to challenge. It doesn't matter how hot of a streak he's on. He recognizes he's 1 kill off of earning that Cerberus after rotating. Why risk it? Instead, gets himself in a perfect position to win essentially free engagement. And look, he's fully streaked. He's got a Tempest. What was only a 40-second lead for Rise as we rotated towards that middle hard point. They've left DT scoreless for the last minute and a half. And DT are going to give this up as well. This is another full 60.
He just played that perfectly, Classic. And you see he's going to kill 1 player outside of Grandma. So now, do we see the lightning strike come in? He's going to ping it at least. He's actually going to call it in. He's going to try and get this player all the way in the back in this train car. He's not going to be able to take him out. His teammate Looney pushes him out with him. Now this should be Grandma's going in favor to Rise Nation, and this one is ugly, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, with a Cerberus as well, just to add insult to injury. Classic hitting shots, 26 and 15. I mean, oh my God. I mean, his shot is just on point at the moment. There's still a pressure middle map. Classic does finally get killed near that bottom cardboard wall. Kill has had a really quiet game at 13 and 24. Sender as well right there with him. Slack showing off the power of stock submachine gun. And Matt, every engagement like that is just going in Rise's favor.
They've been hot to start out this hard point. And this is going to be, I mean, we knew hard point was going to be tough for DT to win. And Rise just making it look easy at this moment in time. See Diabolic picking up a nice 2-piece inside of the hill. He's going to have 1 more player challenging him. He's going to be able to win that gunfight. Big plays there. Like Diabolic, he's had a pretty good game, 24 and 21. I feel like a player who's been inconsistent over the last few titles. He's been really good in Black Ops 3. Started out inconsistent. I really like what I've seen over Diabolic the last few weeks, though.
Yeah, he's always the kind of the silver lining for this DT team. Wondering, coming into that stage 2, if there's a potential switch up for him in his future. If DT don't wind up kind of making it, does the team recognize the potential he has as a player to be a new guy on a fresh lineup? Some questions you got to ask, especially when a team is struggling as much as DT. And Classic on another 6 streak.
He's running around with the Tempest like it's a shotgun.
He needs to drop the Cerberus just in case he doesn't double stack on Cerberus.
I think he did double stack on at least 2 of his streaks there. And gonna see Looney
100 points
take his HC out of the hill. He's got Heat Wave. He's gonna pop it, but still lose the gunfight to Sender. So Sender wins a big engagement versus Looney. It's gonna be DT getting over the 100-point mark, but this one just not pretty. Nah. Sender gonna have 1 player, Top Grandma, gonna have to win this gunfight and try and push his way through, and he's not gonna be able to do it. You see just the teamwork of Rise Nation. The AR player up top, Grandma just baits that player out. Looney comes flying in over the side, able to take him out at rails, and you see the streak starting to come in. The Cerberus on the map for Classic. Believe he's got a Hellstorm missile to work with as well here.
This one's done.
Yeah, the final seconds here, Jack. You're going to see Killa push onto the hill.
Hellstorm's coming in, HC's coming in.
With an HC, yeah, just streaks all over the map. And it's going to be Rise Nation winning that one. 250-112. Did a tremendous job all game long. DT really never got control at any moment during that one.
Nope, here's your final kill cam from Looney. On a weak player in the hard point, gets it done with that HCXD. Rise Nation. While, at times at the beginning, we were saying how DT, they were fighting pretty well on that first hill. It was looking pretty even between the 2 squads. Then Rise just opened the floodgates, led by that first fully streaked out play from Classic. He did it again later on in the game. You saw the movement and mobility of that hip-fire Tempest coming into play multiple times. Back rails, Rise, make it look easy.
He's a complete player. I mean, he plays around the objective, has a great shot, always in the right position, can be an AR, can be an SMG player. I think Classic's a fantastic player.
Is this his best COD yet?
I think so, probably.
I mean, I remember because you were talking about him early in the stage, saying how you were so impressed by him, how he was a guy that so far in Black Ops 3, you were like, I was not expecting this. I could not believe just how dominant he's been playing. He's continuing to do so, man, on this Rise Nation lineup. This team looks good.
Yeah, he's been playing at the
20. Oh my goodness.
The highest level. And see, Slack had a pretty good game as well, 32 and 26. But just Looney, 31 and 15, 2 minutes in the hill. And that is a silly game as well. Octane doesn't even need to go huge with the assault rifle from the work that Classic and Looney did. The other side of things for DT, nope, good. Diabolic, 25-28. Tried to hold them in there. Then Sender and Killa just with 2 rough games in that first hard point.
Yeah, That's really it. Rise Nation taking 250 to 112. Here's a look back at that map 1. Thankfully for Dream Team, that's the only hardpoint that is played in the best of 5. So now they have an opportunity to bring things back in S&D. Obviously, as we keep mentioning, Rise Nation's weakest game mode. If Rise win this next map, though, Matt, do you think Rise take the series 3-0?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. DT, if they lose the S&D, I think this one's over pretty quick.
I'd have to agree with you on that one, especially from what we've seen.
It's just the firepower and the respawn game modes. Like, how are they going to be able to keep up in the slaying department? That's really what I question with DT.
Oh, for sure. And now we're already in the next lobby. This one should be getting started here momentarily. Really fun night so far. I mean, some stomps of matches for the FaZe and Optic Gaming ones. Obviously, Luminosity Envy went to game 4, but that was a series that I thought, Luminosity could win 3-0 if they clutch up that S&D. They lost that one 6-4. They were down 5-1. Somehow, were even able to bring it back that far. Rise here on a map like Breach. We've spoken about the sniper presence so far with the other teams. You expect Rise to put a heavy focus on snipers again?
Octane always does a good job with the sniper rifle. So
I agree.
Expect him to have a sniper in his hands. Potentially could see DT ban out against it. So obviously looking to see how they handle the ban and protect phase.
It was funny. We saw earlier on tonight that Attach kind of made a statement, I think, for FaZe, where the other team tried to ban out his snipers. He tried to ban out the sniper against FaZe in general. They get rid of the SVG. They get rid of the Locust. They get rid of Thermal. Attach protects Overkill. Uses the Draken, gets like 3 kills with it, makes it look easy, shows, unless you ban literally all 4 snipers, I will make this long-range weapon work against your team.
It's difficult, especially when you have a good sniper on the opposing team, like an Attach or an Octane, how you like to attack that. If we start seeing players use the Draken, I don't know if there's a way to get the snipers out of the game. You're not going to waste all of your votes in the ban and protect on snipers. I can't
4
see
sniper
it.
rifles. Neither can I.
I can't see it. And especially if Overkill makes it through, there's no reason not to run one of them.
Yeah, might as well. I mean,
right?
Attach, you can still have all the pleasures you want, a submachine gun. I mean, you just need quick draw on a VMP to use it.
I don't even think you get rid of an SVG or a thermal or whatnot. I think maybe thermal. I think you just get rid of Overkill. That should be, if you're in charge of the sniper, the first thing you get rid of is Overkill, because if that guy misses those shots, you just push him right away, and then maybe you protect a stun. You're able to stun the guy, whatnot.
Yeah,
get a good shot on him.
I definitely see your thought process on that.
I don't think you're going to stop
multiple times
people,
how an SVG ban with the Locust, how good the
just
Locust
doesn't do
still
anything.
is. It doesn't slow him down at all. Sender, first ban is Afterburner. Okay, something a little bit different from the side of Dream Team, as Looney will go with his follow-up ban within these next 10 seconds.
He's going to go with stun. So Rise wants to get stuns and flashes out of the game. Make it as close to gun on gun as possible. That's why you see Classic follow that one up with flashbangs. Flashbangs, I think, are even more powerful than concussions in this game. Flashbangs, extremely powerful as tactical. And
I made a Vine about that. I think it was an unappreciated Vine, too. I'm going to be upfront with you. Well, it's like how flashbangs feel in Black Ops 3, and your whole screen is white for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I've never actually watched one of your Vines. You're going to see Rapid Fire go, Overclock go as well. Now, see, I think High Caliber probably goes also. So you see the Shiva go, High Caliber going to leave as well. It seems like Rise just kind of got rid of stock things. Stuns, flashes, Rapid, Shiva, High Caliber, stuff we see lots of teams kind of target.
Diabolic, that final ban. What does he wind up going with? I mean, ooh. Okay.
So they get rid of the M8, they leave all the snipers in, and they leave Overkill in.
That makes me laugh because they just got rid of the M8 versus Octane. Like any AR to get rid of the M8 against, try to make him uncomfortable. Octane sitting there like, okay, like, fine.
Yeah, I mean,
now you use something.
The Man of War comes into play, ICR.
Which, granted, Chino and Sender are both very good with the Man of War. They're both very good with the Man of War.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, Octane is very good too.
Yes.
That's just the thing I'm going to say.
Now, go through the specialist draft. None of the specialists attacked during the ban and protect process. So, Heatwave, Camo, out of Looney and Classic. You're going to see Slacked, Grow, Grab, Kinetic. I'll not be shocked to see Octane run something like Vision Pulse or Psychosis. Then on the side of DT, you got Heatwave, Camo, Vision Pulse, Kinetic. Octane goes Vision Pulse.
I think...
and It's a mirror image.
I think that the Vision Pulse pick kind of cements the deal for me that Octane is going to be playing more of his similar solo role that he does on the likes of Hunted, where it's just him, a sniper, an overkill weapon, maybe some trophies, and Vision Pulse when necessary to just hold down an area of the map. Here on a map like this, you expect him sniping top green to watch over construction.
He's going to play over by the B site, sitting on top of green with a sniper rifle in his hand. Now, DT doesn't get it out of the game, so let's see how it affects them. They have the opportunity there in the last vote in the Ban and Protect. They elect to go with the M8, so we'll see how that changes the game as well.
Yeah, Octane, more than fine with using other weapons, other ARs. Not a surprise for him at all. Either way, though, Rise up 1-0, looking for a 3-0 in this matchup versus Dream Team. And I don't know if DT have what it takes to force the game 4. This is, for me, as I mentioned earlier, and you kind of agreed, is the map for Dream Team if they want to potentially force a Game 5 to get another S&D where it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah. I can't see a world in which DT loses this map and then wins the uplink and the CTF.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, and that's kind of the story of them, and that's why they're 4-14? Is that what they are right now?
I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's where they are right now.
Rough spot.
It's been a rough stage 1 for TT.
Rough spot. Do you think more changes need to be had with this team?
No, I like the addition of Killa.
Okay.
I think they've been better, more competitive since the addition of Killa. Just obviously they don't have a lot of time with him in stage 1.
Exactly.
They feel like they made that move, what, 2 weeks ago?
Maybe 3 at this
point. Yeah, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So it's not a lot of time for them to kind of incorporate Killa into the lineup.
All right. Well, as we wait for this map to load on in, this is our final match of the night. Things to look forward to tomorrow, as we're going to talk about the schedule a little bit later on. CLG Envy will be the first match here on the primary stream. I think that's an opportunity for Envy to bounce back after a rough loss tonight versus Luminosity. TSM FaZe, TSM with the nice win today over Complexity.
Huge match.
That is a match where they get a 2-0 week that I think would shock everybody.
Elevate Team Caliber, that's a big one as well.
That is. I think Elevate, I think they're winning right now versus H2K. I think they're
and that's a huge
2-1.
match in terms of standings as well. So obviously
every match is so important right now.
Yeah, if H2K loses, I think there's a scenario with a few teams would cement their spot in the playoffs, and then obviously would move some other teams up and down the rankings at the bottom. So it's a big match over there to get things kicked off.
All right, well, off the break of this one, you're going to have a 4-man hit of top middle from Rise Nation, and DT are going to do the same. This is exactly what happened in Optic earlier tonight. DT get 3. There's 1 player remaining. Diabolic can't paint him up enough to get the final kill, and Looney's going to get out with his life.
He's going to run all the way back to his spawn, so he's going to take the longest route possible. He's going to wrap all the way over.
The thing that he has going for him is he has Dead Silence Blast Suppressor, so he's not going to be heard anywhere. Sender still playing top mid. Bomb is planted by Diabolic, and Looney's going to go on this far, far flank through bottom lab. Wow.
I like it. He's got a ton of time left. He's going to spot 1 up top mid. I don't know if that player actually spotted him. I believe he did, so you're going to see Looney go for that lower wall run, not able to connect. Finish off that player. It's going to be Sender taking him out. It's going to be DT up 1-0.
Nice job by DT to kind of hold off that top middle push, led by Sender's 3-0 performance. You mentioned, the XR2 going to be probably a weapon of choice on a map like this for some of these guys, as the M8 was banned, and that's exactly what he uses to get that 3-kill round. Dream Team first to strike in this Search and Destroy. Rise Nation now on offense. They've got a 3 submachine gun setup. I'm guessing this is going to be another middle map kind of execute.
Yeah, it seems that way. Octane gets far out ahead of everybody. He's going to challenge the player up top. He's going to take out the second one as well. Diabolic and Chino, though, coming up with some big kills. It's going to be a 1v1.
This is
going to be Chino
same thing as
going
last time.
up against Looney here. How does Chino like to play this? He's going to go back deep into his spawn and watch the B site, and Looney gets up top. Into Broken, and Chino playing in the bottom corner of glass.
There's no reason really for him to move.
No, you're better off if you're Chino just kind of waiting for Looney to make a move or try and get bombed down. And even if he plants it over at A, you still kind of have an idea of what area he's playing in. So, like the idea by Chino.
Both players hanging out at the moment. Looney still peeking near middle. Hasn't spotted anybody as of yet. He'll begin to go towards his bottom greenhouse area. As he gets so intense, he slides out, does spot him in the corner. Beautiful stuff by Looney to check his corners, a sign of a very experienced search and destroy player. He goes out, slides, checks that left corner, winds up recognizing he's there, and Chino
can't even react.
Can't get the shots in quick enough.
Now that's a popular corner that players like to play in, and
Definitely.
as soon as he checks that corner, if he doesn't see him, he knows to kind of turn around, check the other one as well.
Yeah, you could see as he's sliding in, he's going for like a full, just kind of a full spin, right? Like that's all he's like expecting to do there. In the end, winds up making the play happen, and it's going to be another 4-man stack of top middle by Rise Nation. Octane gets one. He's so good at getting control of this top cube area. Now a 4v2. Looney chases down a kill, and that's going to be Killa left in the 1v4.
Now Looney be alive here on a 3 streak. You're going to see Killa the last one alive for DT. He's going to drop the hands of Octane, and it's going to be Rise taking 2 straight rounds. And that first round was not a clear-cut DT win by any stretch of the imagination. So this is one where DT could find themselves down 0-3.
Yep.
They're able to get that first round, but they need to even it up this round. Fall down 3-1, be difficult to come back from.
It's pretty interesting to kind of see how the difference between rounds 1, 2, and 3 are all dictated by Octane getting control of top middle hut. Now Rise again will rotate off of that middle map push. They've got a sniper in the hands of Octane. Rotate towards top middle. Has the bomb player. Was he spotted by Killa? I mean, I thought he did, but instead, no, they're going to fall right on back and go for a push towards A. Wow, this kind of hesitant push towards B might have just completely juked all of DT. DT think that Rise are executing towards B. They should spot multiple players here, and Slack should immediately rotate this bomb towards B, but it doesn't appear so. They're going to try to play top middle, and then now they're going to turn back around.
You bring it back towards B.
Oh, God, guys, we got to get to B right away.
Yeah, smart play. It would have been better to see him get it down on B right away, and DT is going to come on a long flank. This bomb's actually going to be planted for where they're going to come on this flank, and I don't think Rise has any clue where these players on DT are, and Slack better turn around or else he's going to get shot.
It's going to be Octane watching their back with that SVG. Does slide out to get out alive. Here's that Man of War use that we expected. They're going to begin to inch up towards the site, and oh my God, look at the decision made by both Slack and Classic to just go on this full flank. Will they check their left corner? Oh, Slack sees a shadow. Can't get the kill, though. 1v3. Not going to happen. Dream Team win the round, and there's the bomb defuse.
Yeah, there was a player on bomb for a very long time.
This is true.
Yeah, nice play by DT to get on bomb right away. It's very tough for Classic and Slack to come on the flank, pick up those kills, and they don't pick up any. DT ties it up, so really nice spot if you're DT.
Nicely done to get on that bomb right away and trust each other to pick up the kills around them. DT showing some life here in Search and Destroy. An HC ready to go for Looney. No specialists yet on either side. Yeah, no specialists yet. Both teams have an HC to work with. Looks like Octane going to play that middle map area yet again. Knows how important this isn't. There's first blood on the Chino, who peaked, and that definitely was not worth it.
Why do they keep challenging him up top?
He's going to beat you each time.
It just doesn't make much sense. I believe it's like the 2nd or 3rd round he's gotten first blood. They just keep going up, challenging Octane. It's going to give the man advantage to Rise Nation, and you're going to see a sniper on one of the guys on DT, if we can just jump on board with who that was. Not exactly sure, and it's going to be Diabolic with the sniper rifle in hand. So he's just trying to find a pick for this DT team, tie up the man count. Sender getting pretty aggressive over on that B site. Now you're going to see the bomb start to come over, and he actually gets tagged up from top glass, and you're going to see Killa go all the way over towards A. And nice shot there by Diabolic, trying to open things up with the sniper rifle. Going to tie it up at 3 players apiece. Killa going on this long flank. They don't have a lot of time. He's got to move.
Here he goes. Killa could actually catch him completely off guard right here, as they're expecting a full-on execute towards this B site. Killa going for the hot flank. He's got 1 player up top, 1 player down low. There's 1 free kill. Now a 2v2 with 10 seconds left. Killa tries to hop up. 1 player remaining. DT get it done. Killa actually team kill there, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fortunate.
Yeah. Thankfully, there was no body stack. Imagine if that player gets behind sight here and just shoots right through Killa. That would have been terrible.
That would have been awful. But DT able to take that round,
Yep.
jump out to a 3-2 lead. See if they can hold on to this, though. It's been Octane on the side of Rise has done such a good job getting these first bloods.
Slack is still 0-4, and Rise are within one round. I mean, if I'm Octane and Looney, I'm going, guys. I know both you and Classic have struggled. You're 1-8 right now, but if you guys begin to pull your weight, this should be an easy win. Killa tossing a nade off the start. Don't believe he didn't get anybody with it, and that's going to be a free bomb plant right now in the hands of Looney. Nice use of smoke as well.
Gonna get that one down with ease.
And he'll
Chino
get out.
up top glass, not able to do anything. Now you're gonna see an HC come in from Cinder, and seems like everyone has their back turn except for one player actually. Gonna take that
Counter
HC
heat
out, and you're gonna see Looney pick up 2 big kills there. So he jumps out to 8 and 3, dominating this search and destroy along with Octane. And nade comes in from the player up top. I believe that is Chino, as he's the last one alive, and they do not need to challenge him whatsoever.
Ooh.
Octane's able to take him out with the snipe.
I'll say,
Rise ties it up.
Looney playing that close kind of jump over area, such a smart decision. As he has heat wave, the opponent comes in, heat waves him. So Looney just pops his heat wave almost instantly. Nice drag shot right there by Octane. Putting the round count back to even. Looney and Octane continuing to pull majority of the weight for this team.
Whole majority of the way. I mean, the other guys only
15
have
out of
one.
17
Yeah, they
kills.
only got. The guys only have
It is
one kill
technically
each.
still majority.
I mean, they are pretty much single-handedly keeping Rise in this game. This would be a blowout if they were not playing well.
True chains.
You see kinetic armor coming to play.
That's a
Cinder
kill.
pushes up right onto that B bomb.
Oh
So
my
he's going
God.
to take out another player as well. See how powerful the Man of War can be. Octane's going to fall all the way back into bottom broken. We don't see the bomb go down yet. Now it gets dropped by Cinder. It's going to be Looney and Octane here.
This
Last
player
two alive.
should see the shadows the moment. Oh, nicely done, Looney.
Looney's going to just fall off the
Killa,
map.
you have to see the shadow. Yep, he does. 1v4.
Yep.
Dead. 4-3. DT with a relatively easy round.
If the guys, if Classic and Slack could get anything going, I mean, this is one you think Rise would have ran away with.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, but you see, this is why, kind of Rise is it's their worst game mode, obviously, and it kind of comes back to bite them in some of these series.
Absolutely. As we start off round number 8, it's Dream Team swapping back over to the Man of War. It's going to be another play where Octane tries to get right towards top middle. This time it's going to be Center, the only line of defense for DT in this area of the map. He's just going to fall back and broken because they played this so passively. Classic can plant this bomb right away.
And he's going to plant it towards mid. So if you are Rise, you're going to be able to obviously watch it from that top mid hut. You can go back to your AC and watch it. You can see it from top broken. So really nice spot to get the bomb down. And they're going to try and just go at Octane from every direction. He's not going to be able to pick up one, though. Looney's going to take out Chino. Slacked and Classic in the kill feed as well. They have eyes on Killa in the middle of the map. He should get pinched at any moment here. And he's going to drop. You're going to see Classic, the final kill cam. And Classic and Slack come to life during that round. This is a back and forth SND between these teams, just trading blows round after round. And it is one that DT needs desperately.
Oh, certainly has. Rise, they've been hanging in it, right? And it's been without really help of 2 of their players, as Looney and Octane still have 16 of the team's 21 kills. You've got Octane electing to still overkill Snipe. He's also got Vision Pulse, and wow, Vision Pulse will be so useful near A if they recognize no one's coming to B. There, it looks like they've sniffed it out. They've also seen players crossing with that thermal sight. Does Octane Vision Pulse? Oh,
and obviously knowing what we know, it would be great for him to Vision Pulse at this moment in time, but I think he's going to elect to save it. As you see Looney going to watch all the way in the back. He's going to watch their spawn to see if they rotate all the way through. And there's some action going down at A. It's going to be Chino getting first blood. You're going to see Classic fall off the map as well, so it's going to give credit to Cinder for a kill. And now you're going to see DT try and push all the way through. And they're going to attack Looney in the back of the base. He needs help. He's going to drop. It's going to be all up to Octane here.
If Rise lose this map, I'm just going to tell you this is on them, man. Like, this has been such a winnable match for them to take home. So surprised that it's even gotten to this point where they're about to find themselves down 5-4. Missed the peek on the player on the A site. He's going to go and check B because he has no idea that he literally's got the worst timing in the world with that sniper. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, well.
Not even going to let him plant.
I mean, that's one, actually. He can hit the wall run, and he can take the player out planting, and they probably don't have a lot of time. I mean, there's, what, 12 seconds left?
Oh, my gosh.
10 seconds left?
Yeah. Definitely could happen.
I mean, that is one Octane probably should have challenged, but likes to just jump off the map. Gonna give that one to DT, and DT 1 round away from tying this series up at 1 map apiece. Be huge for this team.
Rise Nation. We're gonna have to try to get it done. Looks like it's gonna be another pressure towards this B site. And you love this from DT. Look at how aggressive and confident they're playing near top middle. Nobody ready though to block this B push. Now Chino will begin to sniff it out. Rise going so slowly that this could wind up working out for DT here. The smokes come down. They know exactly what's happening. Going to be up to DT to go for this break. You've got Octane with Vision Pulse. Does he pop it? Nothing as of yet. Finds himself in a great power position to watch over this top greenhouse area. Classic's active camo gets shut down. Will clean up 1 kill. Now a 4-on-3. Vision Pulse gets popped. Will tag up multiple players. And Octane should just be able to call out where these final couple guys are. And this looks like a round win for Rise, unless something goes terribly wrong.
With man advantage and bomb down, do you use Vision Pulse?
At the point when he used it, it was a 4-on-4. Well, now, Looney's last live, they spotted him. Oh my God.
That Rise just gave that one away.
They just threw that map away.
Yeah. DT gonna win this one 6-4. Credit to them. They made the plays when needed. It's just Rise, I feel like.
They
need to seriously work on their S&D.
That right there is why people mention S&D for Rise is by far, hands down, nothing close. Their worst game mode in Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
If you watch the S&D right there, you would have thought that that was the S&D of a 12 through 8 team in the COD World League.
It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. They gave away a lot of rounds, but DT able to turn those into victories, and they take that second map 6-4. So we will see a CTF in this series. No, yeah, they are not out of it by any stretch.
They are not out of this one. It will be Infection Uplink, then CTF Fringe, and if somehow it goes Game 5, as you mentioned earlier, S&D on evac would be the map and game mode. Definitely a winnable series for DT. They've gotten the first S&D. Now they need to seek that respawn.
They got to figure out how to win one of the next two. Rise looks really good on the hard point. DT just really couldn't keep up with them in the slaying department. How do they do that going into this next map? It's going to be, obviously, like you said, an Infection Uplink. It's an AR-heavy map. You're going to see a lot of slaying power on the side of Rise. I don't know. I think you got to get rid of some of the ARs if you're DT.
Now, I will say, while the M8 was banned there, I don't think that was why Rise lost that map at all.
No, it was just decision-making.
Yeah, I think it was large majority decision-making. Classic and Slack a combined 5 and 16 over triple negative, as Looney and Octane just couldn't get it done as the two members of the team that really were pulling their weight. Everyone else on DT did what they had to do. Diabolic 6-4 with a plant and 2 diffuses as they are able to win that map by a round count of 6-4.
Sender goes 10-6 for DT. Yeah, he's kind of the standout performer with him. Looney goes 10-6 on the side of Rise, and obviously, Slacked and Classic just didn't bring it that one. Nope. Don't even know if that's really the reason they lost it. I think they still had a pretty good chance to win it, even with them playing so poorly. But just not making some smart plays there with Rise. And they may look back on that and kind of be like, oh, we kind of gave that away, obviously. But
that was that round right there. Was
they expect to win the respawns, Rise.
That for sure, and I think that's what everyone at home expects as well. As we just wait for one Rise player to get ready up, I think they'll be staying on the same side. So yeah, pretty easy stuff as we transition over to Infection Uplink, game mode where we really saw the Mana Wars begin to get used first by the Dream Team squad. This is where Chino and Sender really found the Mana War as their weapon of choice in a game mode like Uplink. Wondering if they elect to ban out the ARs, like you said, again, in regards to the M8 in this next one. Definitely think it'll help them on a map like Infection.
I don't think it made much of a difference in the search and destroy, but maybe we see it.
I think it helps them. I think it helps them more if they ban it in this over an S&D.
Yeah, but what if Rise gets rid of stock or something along those lines?
Then Rise get rid of stock. I mean, both teams love using stocks of machine guns too, so I see like the pull and take from it, but I think there's an opportunity for Rise too as well. I feel like that's their ace in the hole, right? They find themselves now in a 1-1 series. Let me go with a stock ban to really try to throw off DT in this game 3.
I don't even think they really need to go to that strength, like length, to do that. But it's something that's worth talking about. Rise could potentially kind of throw that at DT, but with the way they played that first hardpoint, they should be able to handle them pretty easily or convincingly in this uplink.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. The countdown has started. Ban and Protect going to be on your screen in the next 2 seconds. At the start of this one, Diabolic and Classic up for their respective teams.
Now you're going to see the Shiva gone first, and just getting word from the secondary stream, I believe H2K lost, so that definitely changes some things. I think it may even have some impact on some of the top teams if somebody qualifies or not.
Yeah, I think that's what we're kind of looking at backstage. We'll try to have official word for you here as the night goes on. High caliber ban from Octane, rapid fire to follow up from Chino. So still a lot of ARs in play. Do we see Killa or Sender ban out that M8 yet again? As time goes on, I feel like it has less and less of an opportunity.
And Elevate has kind of snuck their way into the top 4. It's a team that I definitely think has top 4 potential. And they have some fantastic players, great teamwork, one of the most fun teams to watch.
There's a concussion protect.
Real big fans of Elevate. And you're going to see the stuns get protected there by Killa. So they're going to try and slow down the guys on Rise Nation by tossing those stuns everywhere.
Is that where you potentially, nope, not going to be a stock ban, going to be overclock. And Camo's still up, smokes are still available. There's the M8. Again, the final ban is the M8 from DT. So it's going to be another Man of War XR2 fest on the map. Diabolic, wondering if it's going to be Heatwave to kick things off. That is exactly what will happen. Classic grabs active camo for Rise Station.
Now we'll see Looney what he decides to go with after Chino makes his decision. Camo in, who would run that on the side of DT? Potentially Killa or Cinder. You'll probably see Kinetic as well. So you'll see Looney go Heatwave, Slack will go Kinetic, Killa goes Kinetic or DT. So you'll see Cinder go Camo. And we'll have a mirror matchup on both sides of things.
So, as you all know, Game 3 is Uplink. A lot of new people and new viewers have been watching. From the live event viewer, want to make sure, hey, if you're used to just playing team deathmatch or maybe hardcore, we've got the breakdown video for you. A couple weeks ago, you and I believe Maven headed over to Activision, filmed a nice little video. This is Uplink 101 by your favorite casters.
Uplink is a favorite mode within the esports community because of its fast-paced, aggressive nature. This mode features 2 teams clashing in an attempt to score a satellite drone into an enemy's floating uplink station. The drone will be spawned in a neutral point between players' locations. Players must then get to the spawn location to fight over control of the drone. Every drone thrown through the uplink station scores 1 point. However, 2 points are awarded if the drone is carried through the goal. Uplink forces players to push into enemy territories and to hold their position. The player with the drone loses their equipped weapon, but gains an additional protective armor, assisting them while their guard is down. After 2 rounds, alternating between map sides, the team with the most points wins the match. Uplink brings on a whole new aggressive gameplay that requires players to solidify their teamwork and conquer map control.
There you go. That's Uplink. That's all you need to know.
Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Now you know. Now you know how to play it.
It's you can tell when you're watching pro players play Uplink and like just pub Uplink games. It's like pub Uplink games like kindergarten soccer, where everyone runs for the objective, where everyone ran at the soccer ball and just tried to all grab it at once. Yeah. Pro Uplink is a little bit different. Yeah, you have it's all about pushing out spawns, making sure you grab power positions, making sure you have a number advantage. Then you grab the objective and try to get some scores in.
It's the biggest mistake I think people make in Uplink is that they just run right to the objective.
There's like, I need to score.
I need to kill people. It's like, oh, we got to get the drone to score. It's like, well, you need people to be dead to even move the drone up the map. So it's like a lot of people will just jump on the drone and then they just die. And then they're like, I can't get anything going. Like, well, you got to kill people, then pick the drone up, move it up the map.
And it's funny how there's that side of people, but then there's also the side of people where it's like, dude, I'm doing my job. I'm getting kills, right? And then they have 0 points, even though they outslayed by 30.
Yeah, that's me. I don't touch the objective. I never touch the objective.
That's why I brought it up. I looked at you and I realized that there are people who are basically allergic to the objective.
If I can kill people, I should not have to do the objective. Somebody else should do the objective.
Wow, there. The coach himself said it. ICR from Classic this game. Octane XR2. As you know, that Man of War and Shiva were both, Man of War M8 and Shiva were both banned out. EMP and Nade lands right on top of Octane as he gets tagged up right at the start of side number 1 of this game 3.
You see right there, Kill just grabs the drone, tries to run away with it, not gonna work. You see Chino though actually picks it up. They're going on a little bit of a breakaway here over into Grave. Just go for the one, settle for the one. He's gonna toss it up. He's gonna connect. So it's gonna be DT getting on the board here first early.
Most certainly, as they're just gonna continue to fight for this front tank control. And look at the red arrows. They're all looking at their own base right now because you had Diabolic just sitting in a corner. They had to clear that out. That gave the opportunity for the spawning up DT players to get in power positions like Sender's in right now. Finally, he does meet his demise there by the XR2 of Octane. Classic in middle map with the ICR. This is a weapon that's been buffed. I feel like every time I've read the patch notes, and there's that pinpoint accuracy with the grip on the weapon.
Yeah, and this when you put the grip on this, it does not move at all. You're pretty much just shooting lasers. And I'm surprised we haven't seen more players go towards it. It might be just because the Man of War is a little bit stronger, but I still think the ICR has a really nice role in competitive Call of Duty if players start to use it right. I feel like the Man of War has a little bit of like I don't want to say an odd jump to it, but it definitely jumps much more than the ICR. That if you can use the ICR, it's more effective at range than the Man of War.
For sure, as there's a stop push by DT. They're going to let Chino take this drone, get it out of their base, throws it forward for yards, and now they'll fight for those middle map gunfights. And Matt, walk me through why you'll see the AR players from either team just consistently run right to this spot on the map.
It's such a power position. I mean, you can watch if players come here through outskirts. You can get over on these B steps, and it gives you a really nice line of sight on the players trying to play behind the tanks. Even when the players just try and jump up over the wall and challenge you, it's I don't want to say an easy gunfight to win, but it is one you definitely can do. Gives you a line of sight on the windows as well. Just a fantastic spot to get a lot of information on the map.
Slack's having a great map so far at 8-3. Octane's right there with him. Unfortunately, Rise haven't been able to score too many points as of yet. Looney should get a great timing right here to get the 1 point off. There, he does just that. He's still in the opposing team's base. Finds one kill, knows there's a player behind him. Can't clear out Diabolic, but the damage is continuing to be done. Rise pushing up with the drone yet again. An opportunity for a one. They connect. Beautiful shot from Slack.
Yeah, for a second, I thought that was a little bit wide. I didn't think that was going to connect, but Slack able to knock it down. Big 1 point throw, and on the side that is not the preferred of the two, Rise jumps out to a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, this is the Rise Nation you expected in the respawn game modes, led by players like Slack, who are literally doing magical things right now with the XR2 on the map, currently 11-6. You've got Octane, 10-4. Every time I've swapped to them, they've been in a position like this in the opposing team's base. Sender doing what he can to clear out his snow driveway. Finally falls to the ICR of Classic yet again.
Diabolic going to try and bring this drone out all the way on the overextension here, and he's got no teammate support. He's going to bring it all the way back as his teammates started to spawn up, but this is giving Rise mid-map control. You see 2 kills go in favor of Rise Nation, and he's going to be forced to kind of throw this out. And Rise, they're just going to kind of, DT's going to give them their spawn.
All right.
And not the best way to go about things, as you see. Should be Rise Nation able to pick up the drone. Oof. Expect them to convert this into points.
Yeah, they're going to begin to rotate this one right towards Snow Street. Octane does get taken down. Classic pops camo. He's going to run past 2 enemies, but as I say that, the heat wave comes in. He goes for a desperation 1, and that bounces just short. With 1 minute left inside number 1, it's Rise still up by 1 possession, but you can see how a play is developing right now. They've got 4 players going down B Street. You've got 2 lead blockers. You've got Center with the drone and active camo. Talk about having all the tools at your disposal to get a score in. And as I say that, I just completely jinx at us as DT just get completely slaughtered.
And you're going to see Chino just drop over on top rock. And now Classic gets over towards those B steps. We talked about how big of a power position it is. DT has not moved up the map at all, Jack. And you see Diabolic pick up 2. They need to make something happen here. To tie the game would be huge if you're DT. Now you're gonna see Sender with the drone in hand. He's gonna
Camo.
pop his camo, gonna try and go up for a score, and the interception not going to happen. He's gonna connect with that 1-point throw.
This is still a chance to score at least a 1.
Yeah, it is. And Looney could potentially
He juked
bring
them all.
Oh yeah.
He juked them all. Goes for the 1.
And he's
Just
short. And now it's gonna be Rise still at 1 point going in the second half.
Oh, you saw how they all spawned a driveway. They thought he would be pushing that with his team. Instead, he cuts it into the dark green hall. Either way, Rise go into the half with the lead. Matt, I feel like going up 1-0, or sorry, by 1 point into that second half, you got to be feeling pretty good if you're Rise Nation.
Oh, without a doubt. Now you get to go attack Church side, and you got to feel great about it.
Yeah. We'll see what they can get done. We've seen some teams be able to rally in points from this side. The number one reason for me why DT's not down by more, Diabolic is silently going 18-6. Didn't really make note of that earlier on. He's going to be the one hitting this outer snow street pressure. He's got Classic right in front of him on these B steps. Can he make the play happen? Classic sniffing something out, does spot him. 2 kills go in favor of Rise Nation. Diabolic trying to pre-fire this area. Sender does spot the weakened player. Oh, Diabolic trying to follow it on up. Does clear out the kill. The drone has already been pushed up into barn from Looney. That push up does get shut down.
Now you're going to see DT as they pick up 2 kills. They're going to try and bring this one up mid-map. You're going to see Chino toss it down. Going to give it to a teammate. He's got the AR. He's trying to lead his way in for a score. It's going to be Sender, actually, with the drone. Going to get by everybody, and it's going to be DT. Putting that 2-point play in as they go up 1.
Beautiful stuff now from Dream Team as they're going to continue rallying this because of the positioning from Diabolic. Chino now with the objective. He goes for the 1, connects 5-3. Rise Nation, man, they came out hot in game 1, but Dream Team, they've been a different animal in this S&D, as well as this Uplink Killa doing what he can to stay alive with kinetic armor. That's going to cause Rise Nation to have to either ignore him and push forward or rotate back and clear him out. It does look like they'll wait for him to kind of bait himself out towards middle map. Classic now with the objective. He'll go for the 1. Yes, he does. 5-4. Rise back in.
This is one that if you are DT, you can't allow Rise to get this kind of control. You see Classic has 2 in front of him. He's not able to pick up the kills, but just draws all those players out wide left. And Looney actually could have probably went in for a 2 there, as you see Octane picks up 2 with the Scythe. But still, it's going to be a tie game. 3 minutes and 15 left. A lot of time for Rise to make this comeback.
Classic still watching over from this front tank side. Tries to push up further with this L car. You can tell just how awkward of an engagement this is right now. He knows how important it is to kill this player at B site, and he does just that. Now he'll push forward towards this front tank. The power position has been held by Rise Nation. They've got lead blockers all over the place. 1 more player to beat. Diabolic running out of ammo. Slack's gonna run right past him for the 1. Rise with 3 unanswered points. And it's funny, Matt, they've gotten 3 points, three tosses, but all 3 of those I feel could have actually been dunks.
That last one, actually, I thought if he would have kept going, probably would have been a dunk.
Yeah. I feel like while it's great they're back in the lead, this score could very well be 9-5 instead of 6-5. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take those 1 points. You don't want to be greedy and try and force it in. Here's the Octane pick up that drone. Gonna toss it for some yards here. He's gonna be the one that pushes straight out. He's gonna have players directly behind him. And one on the opposite side. You're gonna see Classic with camo get off a 1-point toss. He's gonna drop, and look at this Looney going around the outside.
He's been spotted.
Yeah, and he's gonna get taken out from behind with a Scythe. So Diabolic with drone in hand. DT trying to go on the offensive. They just have not been able to get any map control on this side.
This is a good opportunity. They're about to earn Heatwave, but as I say that, their Scythe gets taken down. Octane will be spotted by Diabolic. Diabolic earns himself Heatwave. The 3rd player challenge is not going to have enough time to get his reaction time up to get that kill. Should be a long 1 from Looney, but that actually looked like it will connect. Okay, I thought it was off to the right for a second.
No, that was dead point on center. You're going to see Octane playing over here in Broken. Has
He's just waiting.
Yep. Just going to kind of wait for these players to come around the corner. Doesn't need the challenge. His teammates are giving him the information of where these players are in the mid-map.
There you go.
Diabolic going to jump right into the gunfire of Octane. You're going to see the drone in Sender's hands. He's going to bring it all the way towards the back of his base. And this is one that DT going to go on the overextension.
They're putting everything into this.
Yep.
They've got 1 player to get past top rock, and it's Classic who holds the streak.
They are not able to do that.
He holds the streak, gets the 3rd as well. That might be the difference maker. You've got Looney pushing up. Player in the top window. The drone does fall, but it doesn't matter. Octane with the objective. One player behind him. That's enough bait for the dunk to come in. Rise Nation basically secure the game there with that dunk, unless Killa and the boys of DT can have a heroic final 30 seconds.
Yeah, Killa trying to force the issue on the Rise side of the map, pick up some kills and try and get into their base, and he's taken out.
Panic heat wave. Nope, this is done.
Yeah, it should be at least a 1-point throw, potentially a 2 here. It's going to be Looney settling for the 1, doesn't even need the 2 points. It's going to be Rise Nation winning game number 3.
Yep.
Now this is one where I feel like they let a 3-0 get out of their hands. They want to show up in a big way. DT did a great job in the first half, keeping it close. It's just Rise blew the game open in the second one.
10-5 will be the score line, unless somehow Looney throws the longest 1-point play of my entire life.
That's not long at all. That's going to connect.
He was way closer. He was way closer than I thought he was.
Yeah, no, that is.
I looked at him on the minimap. I was like, 4 seconds left. He's still just picking up the drone. How's he going to make this happen somehow?
That is a throw you see all of the time.
Yeah, couldn't have been more wrong with that save. 11-5, Rise take it. And the only thing that comes to mind for me, and I'm sure is in the mind of these Rise Nation players, is why didn't we 3-0 this team? Right? Yep. I mean, the S&D was just sloppy from Rise Nation. They lose that one. Thankfully for them, though, they're going into a fringe CTF. From the one we saw earlier today, it was, you could barely count it as a map. It was 7-1,
right? Where
Luminosity wound up beating Envy. Wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe that big of a score discrepancy between these two teams in this next one as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible. Well, we've seen DT have good fringe CTF before against Complexity, the Diabolic Heatwave play.
Yep.
Like, that was crazy. So I will not
but then again,
I wouldn't count DT out of this matchup.
Every time now I hear Complexity brought up, I'm like, but it's Complexity. This is a team that like few have been as polar opposites in strength and weaknesses on different days. One day they come in, they are looking like the best hardpoint team. Next day they come in, they get 100-point club by a middle of the pack team. So when you say that, yes, DT, I have faith that you can put up a fight in this one. You beat Complexity in a clutch play, which is like it could have been the worst Complexity in the world on that day. Kill a double negative again in respawns, Matt. I think that's one of the things that hurts this team so much. Is just they lack the slaying power on the map and submachine guns.
Yeah, they definitely do, and I think that's something that they know, but DT, they've been able to tough out some wins against some top competition before. Diabolic has a great game at 29-21. Now, inside of Rise, he had a great game out of Octane and Slack, 31-32 kills, respectively, from those two.
Most certainly, as you can take a look at how things broke down. Octane getting the kills in middle map with that L-car time and time again as we get ready. Teams to get into the next lobby.
Going through some highlights here. You see a lot of Rise Nation as they got control of DT's base and just never looked back. And DT, I feel like, never got near that 50-yard line of the map. This is a big stop. DT trying to go for the, I don't want to say go for the win there, but just about going for the win. Classic able to shut it down and
You could just tell how once that play happened, they put so much of a thought into that. They took the drone, they picked up the drone, they wrapped it all the way to Barn, brought it back through their spawn, through back church, they reset their armor, went to go push it down that snow street, and then Classic was just ready the whole time.
Yeah.
On top rock with that AR. First player peeks, dead. The second player was still watching his tank, so when he went to peek as a lead blocker, Classic just wins another 1v1. And then the last guy's the drone. He just throws it off the map. Classic kills him as well.
Yeah, didn't fool Rise at all.
Nope.
Trying to go on that overextension. It was like a real long one, too, because Sender picks that drone up by
that's what
Barn,
I'm saying.
brings it all the way back through church,
And it doesn't work.
through their spawn, all the way around. Does not work. I don't think it really makes a huge difference in the end. It seemed like Rise was going to win that anyway. Going into the Banner Protect here, map number 4. It's going to be Fringe CTF. Overdrive, first thing gone. You're going to see Smokes go as well. Potentially could see Camo go as well, as Camo can make some pretty big plays in CTF.
It's kind of funny how they realize we don't want to have to deal with smoke grenades from Killa on a map like this, just painting all over. Even though, you know, Rise have been a fan of smokes on Fringe before, but that's mainly in Search and Destroy. Octane and Sender now up. Octane will ban out the flash. Sender wondering if they continue to target this M8 again on the map.
Now you're going to see flashbangs go from Octane. Don't think we see stuns from Sender. You saw them protect them last game. Doesn't make much sense to ban them in this one, as it seemed like that was kind of the strategy that DT was going to go for, to to take this respawn game modes. They did it in the Uplink, didn't do it in the Hardpoint, but you figure you do it in Uplink, you're trying to change something up from the first map, you potentially leave it in for the fourth one. You're going to see Overclock go, so don't want people to get those abilities fast, and going to see High Caliber go. Now, what will be the last ban and protect vote here at Aquila? Still got a lot of the abilities in. Could potentially get rid of the M8. Could potentially get rid of some other attachments. It's going to come down to 1 second. He's going to get rid of Perk 1 Greed, which once Overclock is gone,
it makes no sense for me to ban up Perk 1 Greed.
Because if you're going to ban Perk 1 Greed, you want them to have... Well, you want them to have as many choices as possible in the Perk 1 slot to make it an actual choice.
For me, it's more a decision. It's like, you want them to have to decide, do I go Overclock or Afterburner in a game mode like CTF? Now, with Afterburner being really the #1 pick,
you're just going to pick Afterburner.
I'm just like, okay, I'll just pick Afterburner. I mean, yeah, not having flak might be effective if Danger Close, like Semtexes make it through, but...
I mean, they do, but... Are you worried about double nades that much in CTF? I don't know. I mean, obviously the nades could kind of move you off the positions. Take a look at this. Special strat for quick. Heat Wave on both sides, Scythe on both sides, Camo and Kinetic for both teams. So mirror matchup in the special strat.
Yeah, this really could be it. I mean, you mentioned how it's going to be up to DT to really take a respawn. They didn't do it in the Uplink. Now you're on Fringe. You're on CTF. This is it. This is it not only for, in my opinion, for your hopes of kind of potentially try to get a relegation, which at this point, for all we know, with how the other matches have affected things, DT could be out at this point, right?
I think if they were run the table, they would have a chance. They'd have to win out.
All right.
I think that's their only chance. So it's a big match for DT, obviously.
Most certainly. Guys, for the final question tonight, we want to hear what are your thoughts after tonight's matches. Send in the hashtag CWLPS4 at MattMrX at CourageJD to send in your thoughts. I mean, after tonight, if I had the first thought that comes to mind for me is like, okay, TSM, like that's the thing. Like, okay, TSM, you're trying to come back. Also, Luminosity's the real deal. Those are my two things. I mean, they perform well on LAN. Now, after some shaky times, they have 3-0 in their last 3 matches, making a case for getting out of relegation.
I think after this week, I think relegation will be a lot clearer. Like who is in, who is out, and who still has potential to make something happen. For me, it's really about, those top teams in the seeds and whatnot. Yeah. It's like, Optic Gaming, they seem to have like a clear-cut hold on #1.
For sure.
It's like Envy, they've fallen down a little bit. Elevate, they're rising up, the ranks. It's like, where do all these teams fall, and where do those matchups happen at the stage in playoffs?
FaZe have surged up as well. Either way, though, I feel like you won't be here on Thursday, but a big segment I feel like we should probably wind up doing on the COD Sports Weekly is, where do we stand? It's a lot to take in if you're a new viewer to competitive Call of Duty. If you're wondering, who's still in the Stage 1 playoff picture, who's not, we'll break it down for you, I'm sure, this Thursday on the COD Esports Weekly. For now, though, as it does look like one player has briefly dropped from the lobby, we'll be able to get him back in. Sure, this one will get reset on
pretty quickly.
Yeah,
they won't have to go through ban and protect. All they have to do is specialist draft real quick, and then we can get loaded right up into the game. So
should be good.
The player just crashed. Who was it? It's going to be Diabolic. So we'll just have to get Diabolic back in here, and then we load things up again.
Forget Diabolic. You hop on the sticks. Play this one. Change teams. You think, how would you do right now if you faced Rise Nation?
I would do awful.
I would be destroyed. I don't have my controller here.
Yeah.
I'm not in the right play settings. I can make up a million excuses.
It's actually really hard to play at the desk.
Oh, yeah.
I've played at the desk before. It's very difficult.
Oh, especially, too, because, like, you're trying to get other stuff done as well. Like, we have notes we got to watch out for. We got to set up other things. Then we join up, and sometimes players are doing warm-up free-for-alls, and you try to hold your own, and then before you know it, you're getting two-pieced by a Scump. You're like, well, I'm going to stick to being a caster.
Advanced Warfare, we did something. It was like me, Puckett, Ben, and I want to say Methods was our 4th guy. We played a tournament.
How bad did Puckett do?
Yeah, Puckett held his own. I played a lot of video games with Puckett last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love Puckett.
I miss Christopher.
Shout out
to
Puckett. Christopher.
He's my dad in the gaming scene.
Yeah, I've known Christopher.
He gave
for a
birth
long
to
time. Yeah, you were an intern for a very long time.
I was under the great Chris Bucket.
I still can't believe you're not an intern. It's unbelievable.
You still treat me like one most days.
You know, I'm just used to it at this point.
It's just natural.
It's a very difficult habit to break.
Why doesn't Revan get that? Then again,
Because I actually worked. Revan actually was like an employee.
he was an intern as well.
No.
What?
I think you have it all wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have it all wrong.
Okay, we have 3 months apart in our birthdays, but somehow I'm an intern and Revan's not.
No, the birthdays don't quantify what's what.
Okay.
Look at Maven. He's the oldest.
But both of us
That
just
doesn't mean
happen-
that doesn't mean anything.
That's true. Maven, if anyone, is most like an intern. It's really him.
No.
He's
You
been
ever
stuck in
see,
that rut.
you ever see The Intern with Robert De Niro? That'll be Maven. He'll be like an 80-year-old man interning at
starting
like a
his
fashion
his seventh
company.
new career because he gets banished from all his previous ones.
Yeah.
I give him 2 years before he never steps foot in another esports event.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
He's made it this far.
I would say he's a success at this point.
He is. Maven has come a long way.
Yeah. Remember the
He
first time.
still has a lot to go though.
Oh.
Today he ate cold McDonald's cheeseburgers and French fries.
It's like every day.
freezing cold.
Every day.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll eat like a frozen. It's like the worst diet ever. He just can't feel good.
I don't know how he's not 700 pounds.
I think it was like a burrito in the morning, and then like just cold McDonald's that he's just driving around for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I can't even
there's
watch
a
it.
lot of role models in the Call of Duty community. Maven.
He's definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. Gonna hop into this game. We got Diabolic back in the lobby. Sorry for the delay, but it's gonna be Rise up 2-1 in this series.
Look at Looney. Looney's
DT,
playing an egg sort of play style.
Can DT force a game 5? Looney gonna win one gunfight over here on auto. Now the player's not rotating back. They're just gonna let him go right by.
Guys, is no one gonna react to Looney?
Did nobody say that he's there?
Looney's gonna pull this flag. Killa is behind him, but Looney might get a great timing. Because he gets behind the truck right away. The AR stopped watching for Killa. He gets out alive. Okay, that right there was the weirdest flag cap I've seen. You obviously know Killa. You obviously know Looney just killed Killa in auto.
They're just not communicating. I mean,
How did nobody rotate back?
You can just see that there's. I mean, right there, it's a perfect example of players just not communicating between one another, and it's going to be.
I'm baffled. I'm perturbed.
A cap for Rise Nation here to kick things off. Just a really slow start to this CTF game. I mean, we got like 4-5 kills for Rise to make it 6. Now we have another flagpole attempt coming out from Looney again, and this is going to be cap.
The only person
They're
alive.
going to kill Killa. I mean, I imagine they're going to
about
find
to spot him. Oh my! Beautiful ledge boost from Looney. 2-0 in the first minute and a half. Oh gosh! I mean, I said how this score could get racked up like the Envy Luminosity game, and all signs are pointing towards that right now.
Yeah, DT just needs to shut down their communication. Obviously, see Looney here playing some base D and go on board with Classic, and he is going to take Chino out. Now they're going to try and push up. You're going to see Slack there to help him out as well. Classic's going to force the issue by getting over towards Globe. It's going to force a lot of players to just look over in that direction. Doesn't have a teammate to help him out right away. You see Octane's able to pick up one. Not going to get the second. Slack's there to clean that up.
Okay, Looney. That's enough.
Looney gets a touch, just doesn't get it out of the base. And now Slack going to challenge Sender. Not going to win it, but you just see the constant pressure that this Rise Nation team is putting on DT.
Love this positioning from Classic too. Chino does take him down, but either way, he had good intentions with that spot he was in. Can watch over that entire middle lane. And it's a very tough spot to get picked out of. Chino with some really good shots right now with this M8. Nearly gets the one burst down to that final player who challenged. Classic just going to play a corner in top barn. Should be spotted here momentarily. And just like that, Slack will have to rotate back to try to play some base defense as this flag might get pulled.
He's got to win some big gunfights.
This
Killo's
is
going to take one out, but
what do you think of the scenario we just saw from DT?
just really slow.
They like to try to go push and kill the players rotating back from back alley, but there was 2 players watching for it. So instead of someone pulling the flag and running it towards barn to force the players to still spawn back there, they just don't get the flag pulled at all. And
it's got to be the communication between these guys on DT.
Right?
You have to think.
That.
I mean, they get in position to make a play, and they don't. You know, somebody needs to go pull the flag, and that just never happens. And now they're able to get the flag.
This is what they just should have done earlier.
Yep, they're going to get it into barn. This should be a cap, barring you know, Rise Nation going huge on the overextension. Should be a flag cap for DT, and actually you see Octane's going to win a gunfight. Same with Looney. The flag's going to go in, but now Rise Nation converging on the DT base, trying to get a counter cap.
Yeah, this has to be now a worry if you are the boys of DT to hold off your base. Slacked somehow finding his way towards this back rails area. The flag can't get pulled into bottom. Grandies, and just like that, they do hold their base, so DT, okay. You're not going to get 7-1'd, or, well, it's still possible, but you're making it look like you're not going to, at least, as they continue to try to get aggressive kill. It doesn't spot the player in the corner. That's so unfortunate, as he's going to say he checked that and does not see the gun sticking out, and that's going to force Sender to fall all the way back into his spawn, and he just popped camo. And seen. Okay.
He might have thought there were more players going to be here.
Yeah, or further pushed up, at least.
Yes. Nah, Chino and Killa gonna win 2 gunfights, gonna hold off the push of Rise. There's actually one player who snuck around the back. I think he's gonna wait. Yep, yeah, it's gonna be Slacked. It's gonna be Cinder running right into him. Slack's gonna try and get into Grandma. He's gonna get taken out, but it just shows you how defensive DT's having to play. They only got that 2 pushes. They're the one where they don't elect to pull the flag, and the one obviously where they get the flag pull, they get it out. Other than that, have not gotten many pushes.
Diabolic falls to the hands of Looney, and it's looking like at the half, with the setup that Rise are playing, it will be 2-1. Rise Nation up. Do you think that winds up favoring Rise as they begin to spawn up on the other side of the map?
Oh, we'll see. I know they get to attack Barn side, which I think, you know, you're able to get some pretty easy flag pulls. You get in a barn, a lot of cover there. Now we'll see if this DT team can hold on. And I think Rise Nation definitely in a spot to get another flag at least. So we'll have to keep an eye out, see if DT can get some more offensive pressure up the map.
Well, DT, you got 5 minutes to somehow mount this comeback and force the game 5. Definitely possible. You got to slow down Octane, though. 15-8. 5 more kills than second in the lobby, who's Killa. He's also close to, or he does have that scythe earned as well. Gonna spot 3 players pushing top Barnum. He just Control-Alt-Deleted Sender off the map.
You're gonna see Octane put some shots on another player in the
Looney
mid street,
again.
and it's gonna be an overextension
Looney
pull,
again.
and he's gonna bring this one right into Barn, and just look at the picture-perfect setup for Rise Nation. Now the guys on
already.
DT just don't know which way to go, and it's just unfortunate. It looks like the flag gonna be brought in. DT just playing out of their own base, and it's gonna be Rise up 3-1. We talked about once you get into Barn over by tracks, it's home free pretty much.
Made it look easy right there. Rise 2 rounds in a row, 2 sides in a row, sorry. They get a cap within the first minute of gameplay, set the tone for that side. 1 heat wave's used. Looney says, well, have a taste of your own medicine there, Diabolic, as Rise Nation see to hold on for 4 more minutes to close out the night and get another W in the win column.
Slacked, pushing all the way down tracks, gonna back up, gonna take one out with the RK5. Nice shots, and there's just one player from DT who's just have to force a play, just defense, just sitting on top of the flag.
Does he use kinetic here?
In a game where they need to be offensive, he's gonna use the HC. They're gonna know exactly where he is now, so let's see if he decides to use his camo. He's gonna be able to pick up 1. Now he's gonna pop his kinetic armor. He's gonna be able to take out Killa, and he's gonna bring this one right down the middle of the street.
Sender, the one guy who can try to stop this one, he'll peek the corner, gets taken down by Octane. Slack, beautiful ledge boost again, 4-1. He's got 2 streaks as well. Wondering if he just elects to play for this Hellstorm. He will peek middle map. Can't finish out that kill, but it does not matter. He actually just pinged the lightning as well.
Now it's going to be Slack just set up in top Grandma, putting down some shots in the middle of the map. Now DT needs to get aggressive, Jack, but they're going to feed a streak to Slack as he picks up that Hellstorm to go with his...
No.
No.
He does have his scythe, but he hasn't
used it yet. But Slack's going to pick up the Hellstorm to go with his Lightning NHC. That was probably his HC, but just in case that DT pulls the flag out, he's going to have those streaks to stop them.
There should be a flag pull here momentarily, unless somehow Classic gets taken down. Yes, he does. Kill's being traded out. It's scythe for scythe, and Octane gets the better of it all. 4 streak, 24-12. It's Hellstorm time. That's going to rain down rockets into the flag. Slack gets the car explosion on his side as well. Nice
Well,
job
they
by
stop
DT.
Octane before he's able to get streaks.
Yeah, there's a silver lining. They're still down, though, 4-1 with 2 minutes remaining. So unless there's a colossal kind of falling apart from Rise Nation, you expect them to close this out here.
Yeah, and Slack's trying to get that Hellstorm missile again. And see, Octane's picking up one. He's able to spot one going back alley, searching for players over by Barn. He's able to actually call that out to his teammate, that it is pretty open here. And it's going to be Slack trying to get the flag out. Not going to be able to do so, but it's actually going to be in the hands of Looney, and he's going to get cut down in the middle of the street. Octane, the last one alive for Rise Nation, just trying to hold the push off, but 1:35 to go. Not a lot of time for DT to make an impact here, Jack. They need to get some kills. They need to start pulling the flag now. It is not looking good for Dream Team in this one.
It's crazy to see that Octane and Classic are both playing pretty similar roles in that AR covering their base as Classic brings this flag right towards middle map. They just have to pick up their tin. You've got Classic with 1/3 of the kills of Octane. Just nutty to see. Heatwave now being used. They will get the flag return, so a nice play by Diabolic. Also gets challenged by Kinetic Armor. Unfortunately, though, that would have been much more of a difference if it was actually a close game, but it's still a 3 flag difference, 4 dead on DT. Matt, I think that's going to do it. I think that might kind of sum up and finish out the hopes in stage 1 for DT, as they're going to fall and drop to, what, 4-15? Yeah,
something along those lines. You see a lightning strike come in from Slack. He's able to get one with it. You see Looney get a touch on the flag. I believe it's going to be Classic. Oh, actually going to be Octane able to pick it up. He's going to try and bring this one down tracks, and he's actually going to be behind some players of DT, so he should have at least one gunfight to win here. He's going to stop. Able to win it with the AR. There's another player challenging him as well.
Oh my gosh.
Octane's going to win that one too, and that is just
that's it. GG.
Adding insult to injury right there.
32-15.
Puts in another one, calls in the Cerberus, now calling in the Hellstorm. I imagine we'll see the Lightning as well. And this is one, Rise. They win all the respawns, and they're able to take this one 5-1 over DT and CTF. The series, 3-1 in total.
The series and the night. And on that note, pretty crazy to see that both Fringe CTFs tonight were really high scoring for one team. 7 flags capped for Luminosity, 5 in this one from Rise Nation, and that does it. DT dropped to 4-15. Rise Nation get another win. Overall, pretty fun night here in the COD World League. No, one real surprise, which was Luminosity over Envy. Other than that, the likes of FaZe, Optic, and Rise all get work done.
Big win for Luminosity, though.
Yeah,
that take out Envy.
The Luminosity and TSM are the 2 teams that definitely had their big nights.
Well, I mean, the 2 losses we figured that Luminosity would have for the remainder of their season both turned into wins. So who knows? I mean, they could potentially run the table over their next 3 games, finish out the CWL 6-0, and who knows where they find themselves in the rankings.
Pretty crazy stuff. We'll look at the after-action report because I think I just missed noting. I believe Looney went 29-10 that game. Triple positive as well. All things going in their favor, outslaying their opponents, out-positioning, and you gotta love the plays from Looney, man. The 2 times Looney, really the only 2 times I saw Looney be an auto were in those first minutes of both sides, and he capped a flag each time.
Yeah, Looney goes 16 and 17. It's gonna be Slacked. You were talking about goes 29 and 10. Octane 33 and 15. Classic doesn't even need to do too much. He goes 10 and 16. Still Rise able to win this one. 5-1, and not much to talk about on the side of DT. I think just some poor communication on their end now, which really kind of hurt them in the CTF.
It really affected them right at the start of that second side. You could just tell something was not going right with how Killa was just able to waltz into their base after getting in that first engagement, right? He gets a kill on Killa, and then somehow, or no, I think it was the start of the game, and then somehow just walks into their base and pulls the flag.
They never call him out. He just walked straight in, and it was one of the odder openings to a CTF I think we've ever seen. And DT never really made it a game after that. It just seemed everything just started to go wrong for them.
That was really it for the series. Rise Nation get it done. They take down Dream Team 3-1. That obviously impacts where things stand at the moment. That's just one night of the 2 here in the COD World League this week. Here's a look at your standings after the first day of Week 10. Luminosity and TSM both move out of that relegation bubble.
And tomorrow you'll see CLG versus Envy.
Okay.
And that'll be a tough game. TK versus Elevate. Elevate finding themselves in the top 4. Could potentially even get up and pass Rise if Rise loses to H2K. Now, see, we got TSM versus FaZe tomorrow. That's going to be a tough match for TSM. DT Luminosity. That is one that Luminosity should be able to take. And that tough one at the end, it's Complexity against Optic. Complexity loses that. They find themselves at 10-10.
Yeah.
And you got, I mean, let's say for argument's sake, TSM and Luminosity win. They both have 9 wins. You see something, you could potentially see something crazy. I mean, let's say, even deeper down the line, H2K wins tomorrow. They're up to 9 wins as well. Complexity's only up 1 game from relegation at that point.
It's a scary spot for them to be in. No matter what happens, Complexity struggles are either going to force them potentially to get a relegation, not sure kind of where that stands, or a very low seed for stage 1. They could wind up matching the likes of Optic Gaming in that first round. Either way, though, Matt, very fun night. Thank you for joining me. That's going to do it for us here in the Burbank studios here at ESL. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all tomorrow.